What's going on, everybody? Hey, welcome back. I'm trying to look at today somehow in a positive way. And the only thing I can think of is it is another opportunity for me to learn, because, eventually the pain is going to outweigh the ignorance, and I am going to quit this stupid stuff. I did do some dumb stuff today. I'll get into all that here in a second, but we will go ahead and jump head first into this recap, and we will start off with a higher time frame, because the news, there ain't really much news the rest of the week unless something is tweeted or something just comes out of the blue. So we will go ahead and start with this 1 hour chart. Again, hey, we struggled for the last 2 weeks to get through this 26,000 area. Today, it finally just give it up. I don't know what got it going. I was looking for us to bounce when we come and hit this trend line, but there was no chance of that. It didn't do it. Looking at the 1 hour chart now, we have pushed right back up, right into resistance. We're right against this bottom trend line, and we are also in this area right here. If you look to the left, it had been support quite a few times, also had been resistance. So now that we're back under it, it's resistance again. So I don't know. For me to be bullish on this, we're going to have to get back above this trend line and see some kind of pullback and a push again. We definitely got to get above the 25,800 area, I think. But I don't know. It ain't looking too good. It just depends on what type of nonsense comes out in the next few days. So we will go ahead and jump into a smaller time frame, and we will go ahead and get into the dumb stuff I done today and the opportunity I gave myself to learn some more. So, hey, the 5-minute opening range is still working. This morning I did have an order sitting here waiting. We had about 120 point range on the 5-minute opening range, and I actually took a trade right here when we failed these candles. It was a little early, but I scalped it. I was just trying to rotate through my accounts, and I had an order sitting here waiting on another account, and like I said, I was just shooting for 10 points on it or so. And as you can see, we pushed right back up, almost right to it, and it failed again. I took another trade when we got below the body of that previous green candle. And then I took another trade right here. That's kind of a bear flag. And this, the best that I can recall, I actually took a couple of trades on this momentum. But anyways, we started pushing back up. We got back above this previous area right here to the left. When we got above these candle bodies, my mentality changed. I went from being short bias to being long bias, and I was figuring that we was going to push on up. So I don't have no lines. I'll go ahead and draw it. When it made that bull flag right there, I entered the trade, and I ain't real sure what happened. I was trying to get a little more out of it. Like I said, I've been trying to stay in trades longer. But I was in pretty good profit for a little bit, but it went against me. And when it pulled back to this trend line again, I broke a roll because I was so confident that the market was going to push on up. I added to the position, and of course what happened, it tanked and it got me out. It wicked me out. And this right here, like I said yesterday, is what puts me on tilt when I am in a trade, and it wicks me out and it shoots the other way. Well, as soon as it wicked me out, got me in losing trade, it shot the other way. So guess what? Like I said, I told myself, I said, look, I was right. The market's going to continue on up. So this time, instead of adding to my position, I just went ahead and jumped in a lot more than I should have. Common sense. Like I said, I know better than the market knows. Well, what happened? It tanked again, and that's what happens. Just being an idiot, and that put me on tilt, and I actually being another idiot again. I tried catching the bottom on this because for some odd reason I still had it in my head that it was going to go up. Now, what really irks me about all this and why I want to share it is until this point, until I took these trades right here, I was green. Every account I traded was green. I was having a great day. All of them was good profit, and I got here and done this idiotic stuff, and I walked away. It put me on tilt. I lost 2 accounts because of it. Just like yesterday, one of the accounts was, $100 or so away from a payout. I worked 2 weeks to build that account up, slowly, couple $100 a day just to walk to that payout, just to be an idiot and give it back in, 2 trades. So that's just something that I'm going to have to adjust in myself somehow and work on. I mean, I know it's my fault. I've said it a bunch. At what point am I going to stop being an idiot? I'm not real sure. But, also, you kind of got to sit back just for a second. Trading these prop firms is totally different than trading, your personal account. I traded my personal account today, but like I said, I've been trading like 1 micro on it and just letting it run, just shooting for like $100 a day and just trying to build it up slowly because I don't trust myself in this crazy market. I don't want to trade no bigger. I don't want a chance of giving up $1,000 in a day. So, but on these prop firms, you got to look at them as like a business expense. You go in here and you blow these evaluations. Let's say you blow $500 in evaluations. That's just a business expense. I mean, you can write it off at the end of the year on your taxes. But let's say one of those accounts makes it to a payout. That will recover that $500. I mean, sometimes it's hard to look at it that way because prop firms, to me, it's not like really trading. I mean, it is, but it's more like a lot of people have said, you got to treat it like a business. You just want to stay net green. In the end, does it matter how many accounts you lost? Not really, as long as you can stay net green. You got, like I said, beginning of the year, I wanted 20 accounts. I had 20 accounts, but I can't quit being an idiot. I'm just chopping them off one by one, but I am still net green. I am still to the good. I'm not in the hole. So I'm making money. I just ain't making the money that I want to make, if that makes sense. Oh, hey, I'm sorry. I got sidetracked. I ain't even showed my profit and loss for today. So this is it. I am down to 9 funded accounts with Apex. I am going to give Take Profit Trader again. I got to get my accounts back with them. Missed those daily payouts, but I just hadn't attempted it because, in the last few weeks, I know my mind has been not where it should be on this. And I get put on tilt easy. And that is just part of the journey is learning yourself, and trying to get better. I mean, I know what's wrong with me, I guess, but I'm trying to work on how to fix it. And eventually, if I can fix that, then that is where that life-changing money comes in, to where you live on the beach the rest of your life with your feet in the sand. That is what I am shooting for. To heck with everything else. Just shorts and flip-flops every day. But anyways, the profit I had today, other than the 2 that I smoked, and like I said, I traded all these accounts. These was the last 2 that I traded, and you see what happened. And that messed with my head. I walked away after that. And that was, and still pretty early, I want to say, let me look at this chart. Yeah, it was before 10:30. It was right around 10:30 or so. I walked away. I was fed up. I done burnt 2 accounts. After such a good day, I was green on the day, and I let those 2 get to me, and I ended up being red on the day. So, honestly, this week, I think I've been red every day. Let me look here for a second. Where's my stuff at? Look at the calendar. Well, today's just Tuesday. I keep a screenshot every day of my profit and loss, and I put it in a folder. So this is January. So far, last week, so far, I have to add another one. Today is 14th. 5. So far this month, I've had 5 red days. That is more than normal. I mean, I ain't gonna lie, I have been blessed. I have been pretty fortunate. Even though I have blew some accounts, I still stayed green. I usually end up being green, I just have maybe 3, 4 at the most red days in the whole month. And here I am already, I've got 5, and we ain't even in 2 weeks yet. So, knowing this, my plan going forward tomorrow, I am going to scale down on all my accounts because a bunch of them is close to a payout. I am going to scale down to micros and trade micros. As a matter of fact, I am going to go ahead and change this so it'll be here tomorrow when I come in. I will probably swap up to 5 micros and trade that and still shoot, for $100 or so, but that'll give me more room. And if I do have a loser, it won't be so bad. It'll just be $100. And if I go stupid in micros, that is where you got to control yourself. because I know if I go in here and I lose money in micros and I go stupid, I'll just swap back to NQ and roll the dice. I'll up my number and jump in the trade. So I have got to get better at controlling that. Again, that's what these videos are about, to show everybody all these mistakes that I made and hopefully help you not make the same ones that I make, because I have been making a lot the last month. I think honestly, I think what got it started was when I got in that eval mindset, because when I start playing evals, I flip a switch in my mind and I full port them and I look to pass them in one day. I try to pass them in 1 or 2 trades. And after you get in that mindset, or me, after I get in that mindset, it's hard to get back out of it and get in the real world, But that is something I know I have got to work on, and I'm going to start tomorrow, and hopefully I'm almost hit the bottom and it's time to start going back up. What in the world just happened in the market? While I'm recording this, did a tweet come out or something? I thought maybe something was tweeted or something. I mean, look at that mess, just out of the blue. That is 630. That's almost 100 points there. It's probably getting ready to be 100 points. But anyways, hey, this ended up being a little longer. Hey, I am sorry. I'm showing you all what an idiot I am. But hey, this is trading, I mean, it's tough. I ain't gonna sugarcoat it. It's the hardest thing that you have ever tried to do. There's been many days I just want to beat my head against the wall. That's part of it. I ain't got that far yet. I'm not saying that it's beneath me, One day I may not be on this video and have a big bruise on my forehead. I don't know, but I guess we will see. But anyways, hey, thank you all for watching, and I will catch you tomorrow.